Welcome back to the morning brew, folks. It's a crisp, damp, slightly overcast, but I think the sun is going to burn through morning here in the southeast. I am your host, Niall. This is the upper tier. It's the morning brew, and we've got plenty to unpack after last night. Lots of really poor news in the world of football as well. We'll get into that later, but first of all, congratulations to Liam Brady. Hope he enjoys his retirement. He retired last night from punditry on RTE. Nice for Ireland to get a win to give him that kind of bit of send off, but he does have a lot of questions over this Irish squad and its mentality. But hats off to Chippy Brady, 1/3 of the famous trio, along with Big Bill, of course, isn't it? John Giles and Eamon Dunphy. Truly is the end of an era. But we wish him well in his retirement, stuff like that. What a fabulous player he was as well, and he was also a pundit as well at times. Was questioned a lot. He was the loggerheads a lot of times with Eamon, of course, and with John Giles, but always stood his ground on his opinion and stuff like that. And hats off to him. God, it is nice and fresh out here today. Let's get into some other news. Steven Gerrard heads away from Saudi Arabia, heads back to England, doesn't sign a contract. Looks like he's not going to be going there. Be interesting to see this week if any news comes out around this. There hasn't been any real concrete news about it, but it looked like he was due to sign on the dotted line. But he's after exiting Saudi Arabia, hasn't signed a contract. We were waiting on the announcement, so let's see what happens there. Chelsea yesterday in the news again on a mad one. A couple of bits of news from Chelsea. One, first of all, the Premier League turned down their shirt sponsorship, Paramount Plus. They felt there was probably a conflict of interest with their broadcasting partners. So Chelsea have opted to go with a stake.com for a year. Sounded like this was kind of a kick to the Premier League as well, putting another betting company on the front of the jersey. We know that this is all getting taken out within a year, and that you can only have a sleeve sponsor for a betting company, not a main sponsor on the jersey. But this is Bowley again kicking back against the Premier League. Kind of weird that they refused Paramount Plus, but it's they obviously found reasons too. But it's kind of fell under the radar yesterday with the other news, and the news was that Chelsea are sending off a bunch of players to Saudi Arabian teams at top whack as well. Looks like this is going to be their way to kind of avoid any sanctions for financial fair play if that was the case. But the real news that came out of this is we found out that Clear Lake yesterday is funded by about 900 million from Saudi Arabia. And that was part of the money used to purchase Chelsea. Now we know also that the investor also has links to 3 different teams in the South Arabian League, namely where these players are going. So is this the case that Chelsea can now just send off players if they don't work out in the Premier League to avoid financial fair play? Is this another workaround similar to the 8 and 9 year contracts that Bowley instigated last summer? Let us know your thoughts on this. Is there something that the Premier League needs to look at? Is financial fair play absolutely a waste of time as these teams find ways to navigate around it? Let us know your thoughts. On the face of it, Chelsea kind of haven't done anything wrong like the longer contracts, but in reality it's very obvious what's happening. So let us know your thoughts on that. Kyle Walker, as we spoke about yesterday, linked with Bayern Munich. Also was linked with Liverpool. Couldn't see him going to Liverpool, but linked with Bayern Munich. Looks like that deal is advancing. We'll keep an eye on it. Goes to show, as we spoke about yesterday, Pep always looking to regenerate and rejuvenate the team, even on the back of an unbelievable season. A couple of managerial sackings as well yesterday. Very, very strange. Bournemouth sacking Gary O'Neill after a stellar job he did in getting survival in the Premier League. An all-time points low, of course, for the Premier League relegations and stuff like that, but still Bournemouth survived and at times played really, really nice football. Of course, you remember them beating my own Liverpool as well, 1-0 on the back of us beating United 7-0. But a stellar job done there from Gary O'Neill, so a strange kind of move. Let's see if there's more to this. But we're also hearing as well Sheffield Wednesday have sacked Darren Moore as well after achieving promotion. That was a strange one as well. So we'll wait to see if there's more news coming out from this. We know that Bournemouth have appointed Andoni as well from Spain, so maybe that was the plan. But let's see what comes out of this. Certainly going to be interesting. PSG making moves to point Luis Enrique Could he be the guy that brings PSG to the promised land in the Champions League? Certainly he's going to have an opportunity if he goes in to put his own stamp on PSG, with a number of key superstars leaving that club. Namely, most of their front line is probably going to exit the building. Can't see Mbappe staying there. They need to cash in on him. They can't let him run down his contract this season. Also, talk of Neymar heading to the Premier League, and we know Messi's out the door to Inter Miami. So this is a huge opportunity for Luis Enrique to go in, put his stamp on PSG, and push them on and see. Would we be surprised if Luis Enrique delivered a Champions League to PSG? Not at all. Absolute quality manager. Now, Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford is closing in on a new deal with Man United. £375,000 a week. Interesting when you think of the parallels with David De Gea's contract and how they felt about that after the fact. Kind of semi-forced to get into that and stuff like that, and it came back to bite them a little bit, and now we see what the issues are there. If David De Gea exits the building, it's going to have a real effect on United's transfer plans. So let us know your thoughts on this. 375 for Marcus Rashford. Absolutely outstanding baller, no question about the talent and stuff like that. But is this the moves that United should be making, especially at a time when they're talking about wanting to bring their wage bill down and have a kind of a scaling on their wage bill? Let us know your thoughts on this one as well. Now, where do we want to go? We've got two pieces of poor news this morning. One, yesterday, Ireland under-21s were playing against Kuwait, and they had to abandon the game as one of their substitutes was coming on, was racially abused by a Kuwaiti player. Again, this is all alleged. Report has to go to UEFA and FIFA and of course wherever else it needs to go, but at the moment that's the talk. Jim Crawford felt the need to take his players off the pitch and abandon the game. Very, very sad news, especially at under 21 level. This is just, well, at any level, but at under 21 level this should not be happening. Really, really poor. But then we're hearing overnight as well that a New Zealand game against Qatar again had to be abandoned because one of their players, Michael Boxall, was racially abused by a Qatari player. And again, this is just really, really poor, and especially when you think about Qatar, they're on a bit of a wave in the footballing world at the moment after presenting a fabulous World Cup and stuff like that. But this again just puts a slur basically on this situation. Really, really poor. Both these situations, both managers felt they had no option and stuff like that. And I think, to be honest with you, if we're going to get serious about this whole racism thing, I think that's what needs to happen. I think people need to be punished, games need to be abandoned, so both fans and players know that this is going to be the upshot of your carry on, and that's how it's going to be dealt with. And it's really, really serious. And you got to remember, a lot of fans might have travelled to both those games and stuff like that, and it's really disappointing from them. It's up to those fans now to get their voices heard back to their teams to let them know this is unacceptable if we're serious about this situation. But really, really important. Final bit of news. Eric Ten Hag must be absolutely frustrated to hell. This takeover now, I think it's 220 days or 210 days into this takeover. Still not resolved, still up in the air. Still a lot of news coming out. Still don't know really who's going to win the bid. Last week we were sure Qatar would be announced. It wasn't. This week we're back again talking about Sir Jim back in the game again. All over the place for United. Meanwhile, United are missing out on key targets. Kim Min-jae off the Bayern Munich. Now we're hearing as well that Jurrien Timber might be on his way to Arsenal. Another key target that was there for Man United. Man United needs to fix up really, really quick in terms of this takeover, or they're going to find all their key targets are going to be going elsewhere. Really, really nervous at the moment out there in the market about transfers and about heading to Man United at the moment. Let us know your thoughts on this. But Ten Hag must be going absolutely ballistic at this stage to see some of his key targets heading off to other clubs, because this still hasn't been sorted out. This is the Glazers again, just dragging this whole thing out to get that last ounce of blood out of the Qatars or Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and it's just doing the club no favour, setting it back even more. Can't agree a deal for Mason Mount. Can't seem to get players out the door. Really, really strangled times for Eric Ten Hag. So we'll follow this through right till the end, of course. Let us know your thoughts on it. Let us know your thoughts on all the topics today and stuff like that. This is your morning brew. Big thank you to everyone who's subscribing to the channel. Hope you're enjoying the content every morning, afternoon, evening, the shorts and all the rest of it. Don't forget to join me tonight at 7:30. I'll be doing a review of Dark Side of the Ring, Breaking the Cycle, the Graham Dynasty. It's going to be an absolute tough one. Of course, the story is surrounded by a lot of suicide and stuff like that, so we will drop the links in there for support structures and all that kind of stuff. Until next time folks, absolute pleasure. Like on the video, we'll talk to you again real soon.